Oh hey, you just caught me dancing, 'cause I'm Salad Lord. I'm Salad Lord, and I saw Guardians of the Galaxy. It is directed by James Gunn, and starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Vin Diesel's in this movie as well. I've only seen this movie once prior, but I do remember a lot of backlash around this movie, especially with Maddox hating on this movie so much, to the point where I was like, oh, this must not be a very good movie, so I'm not going to watch this movie at all. Until I did about 3 years later, and I was like, hey, actually this movie isn't so bad. This movie starts, you get this guy, right? Chris Pratt. He's playing a guy named Peter Quill, and this guy, in the 80s, cool 80s aesthetic already, and he's kidnapped. Yoinked. Oh no, whatever shall you do? I mean, his mother is already dead. She died of cancer. So there's not really much else for him to do, so it's very convenient for him to be kidnapped. So he gets kidnapped with a bunch of these space pirates, and it's like, oh cool, I like this character development already. An Earth guy in space? That's not heard of at all. Wow. So Chris Pratt, aka Peter Quill, is part of this pirate group, and he kind of survives with this group. And he's kind of also stealing a lot of things. And there's one item in particular which he tries to steal. He finds this orb, right? It's just an orb, a mysterious orb, but after he finds this orb, a bunch of people try to ambush him and take this orb, and that's not okay. This is his orb, and his orb only, okay? This is his property, okay? You're stealing his property, and that's not allowed. And it gets to the point where he's looking for this orb because it's been taken. This orb is on this planet, this super busy, populated planet, and Peter Quill is also attracting the attention of many people. As he's on this quest for this orb, he attracts the attention of a raccoon and a tree, also trying to be like, whoa, what is that mysterious thing? Is it a weapon? Amongst this commotion, fight breaks out, and they're captured. Oh no, what shall happen? No, this is so terrible. This is only the first third of the movie. However else will they get out of prison? Is this a prison movie? Who knows? So they're sent to prison, and the lineup is pretty iconic, especially given the middle finger thing, kind of rolling up the middle finger. That's a great bit. I love it so much. And all the characters just have so much personality. Rocket has to be my favorite character, but that's probably because I'm a furry and nothing else. I also like nature. That's probably why I like Groot as well. So of course, they're scheming this plan. How do we get out of prison? And I just love this scene. They're talking at a table, and you just see Groot behind, just kind of casually trying to mess with the security system. Just in the background, they're just talking like, okay, this is the perfect plan. Nothing can go wrong. And then you just hear the alarm going off. It's like, oh, come on. I can't believe this happened. Why did this happen? So now they're in the process of leaving prison. There's just so much commotions going on. There's so much like yelling, and everyone's just trying to get at them, but they're safe behind the glass of the warden's area, and then they eventually escape prison. Hooray for them! Good job, them! So what do they do now that they've escaped prison? Well, there are some guys who really don't like Peter Quill's love interest, because those guys happen to know who she is. She's the daughter of a very powerful guy named Thanos. He's going to be very important later in the MCU. Don't you forget him. I like how he's also just, like, actually formally introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a great movie to introduce him, especially because it's, like, one of the movies that doesn't take place on Earth in this phase. So that's great. And I love it. We got the sister of Gamora, I think her name is, who's trying to go after the orb as well, trying to capture the orb. Everyone's just after this orb. It's just orb stealing time. There's also a lot of, like, family drama that I like seeing. It's like, oh, Peter Quill is really closely involved without even knowing with some really powerful characters. I just love the scene where she's, like, floating and open. She seems like she's in pain. Nebula is. I'm just like, no, Nebula, this is sad. You're in so much pain. I know you're like a robot and whatnot, but this still is sad. I mean, you're expressing pain, so I'm going to imagine you're feeling pain, and I'm going to be feeling pain for you. How's that for empathy? I also like all the space scenes where they're in space. The space looks great. Man, I just love space, and I love the Marvel space. I love the Marvel space aesthetic that's kind of been established. I remember looking up space before Marvel movies were very popular, and the results were just space, just generic space. But now, after these Marvel movies are popular, and I look up space, and it's some colorful space, and it looks cool, and there's like a cool gradient and everything about it, and I'm just like, I love it. It's Marvel did this. Thank you, Marvel, for bringing me a cool space backgrounds that are now available in 4K wallpaper edition. Thank you, Marvel. Enough about space backgrounds, and back to the movie. Now we see Peter is facing all these guys, right? This guy, one guy in particular, he's opened up the orb, and inside is the Power Stone, which is very powerful, hence the name, and you could probably guess what's gonna happen. Power Stone is very powerful. It means it kills many people, except for very powerful beings, and even then, wow, this is a very powerful stone. And this one guy, he has wielded this stone, and now it is up to all the 5 main characters to get this guy away from the stone. It'll take some struggle. Just love seeing the struggle, the fight scene. You got the pa-pow, 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 sometimes failed pa-pows. Other times, it's just like, oh man, this sucks. It feels like we're gonna lose. We're struggling against this guy. He's got a very powerful stick. It's the most powerful stick in the world. How else are we going to defeat him? And then, a thing happens. Rocket comes to save the day. Because Rocket is out here just like hijacking ships or whatever. He's just hijacking things. He's a big hijacker. And so he crashes the ship into where the bad guy is, just long enough to distract him. The rest of them just kick the staff away, kick the Power Stone out. No more. You're on Power Stone time out, bad guy. Okay, you're not allowed to use the power stick anymore. You've abused it. Everything's all handy dandy, happy, fun time, smiley greatness. And I just also like the scene where Peter Quill just starts dancing in the middle of the battlefield. He's just dancing. He's dancing the night away. He's dancing to an 80s song. Like, he's doing some of that disco dancing, and it's great. It's incredibly iconic. It's definitely, you've never seen this in a Marvel movie before, or any super serious action movie. But Guardians of the Galaxy doesn't really take itself super seriously, which I actually kind of like. I like many things that don't take themselves seriously. Now that Peter Quill is no longer dancing, he's living happily and kind of chilling in space and traveling space, being a Star-Lord. But not as cool as Salad Lord, which is I am. I'm the Lord of Salad, okay? That's cooler than Star-Lord, because Salad Lord you can eat, okay? Stars you can't, but salad you can. Think about that. And that was the movie. I like the movie. It's a funny movie. Good dialogue. Good unpredictable things. Man, I love Groot. Man, I love Groot's sacrifice. I forgot to mention, Groot's sacrifice shall never be forget. He sacrificed himself for the sake of his friends when they all crashed or whatever, and he's Baby Groot, and that's great. And now we have a credit scene where he's dancing in a pot, and he's tiny, and it's cute, and it's great. And I remember the first time I saw this movie, I gotta admit, I was a little bit of a hater. I was like, ugh, who even cares about Baby Groot? Ugh, it's just a smaller version of Groot. Ugh. But now I'm just like, great, it's great. Baby Groot is adorable, and we need more Baby Groot. And that's probably why there's so many toys of Baby Groot, probably, maybe somewhere that I haven't seen in stores. I really also enjoyed this space, if you couldn't tell. The character designs are great, especially just the little bit quirks that each character has that defines them for who they are. And it's super noticeable, which is great. And I definitely would watch this movie again. And I gotta give this movie an 8 out of 10. If you want more content, I have more content on our patreon.com/ASEPresents for $3 a month. You get some daily vlogs. Wow, I can't believe it. But also, if you want me to review a specific movie, go to our $20 tier where you can request me to draw or watch a movie. That's kind of cool. You should take me up on that. Go to patreon.com/ASEPresents. And until next time, I'm in Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.